Alright, finally, after some connection issues, we're back. I have unpaused the game. Oh, God's sake. It's got... Oh, yeah, Laniros. Oh, for God's sake. Alright, we'll be right back. I am literally so done with computer problems tonight. It's just... Alright, so we started the session, we did a catch-up, and then Galabash and Laniros have gone to one side to speak because Galabash wanted to have a word with him. Elzef has taken the Dark Soul, who kind of sounds morose like this, and has gained some new powers. Maisie and Arlie Aiden are collecting up Chester's ashes, and Orwin floats around in the ether like ribbon on the wind, apparently.
He has now returned from the ether, now that he's able to load into the game.
Awesome. Is there anything you'd like to do, Orwin, while you've got Laniros and Galabash speaking, Maisie and Ali Aiden collecting the ashes, and Elzef conversing with the Dark Soul?
Probably not, to be honest.
Okay, Arliaden does turn to you halfway through collecting the ashes. You. I recognise some of your abilities. He looks and he just claps the ash off his hands. Like, looks at you disgustingly and then looks back at Maisie and then looks at you.
What do you mean exactly?
What I mean is you are a sorcerer. You are from your bloodline. Or the Mana Soul, perhaps?
A little column A, a little column B, I think.
Arliaden nods. There, upstairs, exists something of great power. Probably help.
And you're offering it to me, or?
It belonged to my master. Belonged to Bigby. I'm assuming you've heard of him, of the spell signed. Anyway,
Conquer. I know him, yes.
he belonged to a group of powerful. My uncle, one of them, and friend. Come with me, and he begins casting a spell. Feel flight take over you, and he flies off towards.
Yeah, I'll float along with him.
Maisie just looks up, and sees you go, and as you disappear, going, and you head upstairs. Laniros. So Galabash walks you over to the column, in speaking. Yeah, so last time we met, I wasn't quite sure whether I should talk. Being that, you're the Fae Father's bitch and all that.
I quirk an eyebrow.
Yeah, well, it's what a lot of my folk would call. You're his emissary, right? Guy that does all his talking for him.
Not necessarily. I'm the emissary from there, not necessarily the emissary for there. I've been working as an emissary on the material plane for a few hundred years now.
Yeah, and I'm assuming you did work for the Queen beforehand. You did work for the court, the Summer Court.
Among others, yes.
Yeah, well, time is different there, and as you well know, he's been there for an undetermined amount of time. Took over. Now, in the material plane, it's been 5 years. Well, 105, depending. But in your Feywild, it's been a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
Explain. What I'm trying to get at here is that he's been there for a while. He's entrenched. His domains, not of the Feywild. His power is gifted by a goddess. Powerful one. But
Interesting.
there's something going on. It's court. Now, when I saw after the wedding that he was worried about this thing coming, I thought that was a normal reaction. Then my spies in your court tell me he's up to something. Now, he ain't much worried, is he? Don't tell me. You've seen it. You've definitely seen it, right? He's not that worried about this yellow star anymore.
Go on.
I'm waiting for confirmation. I've seen this.
In a way, perhaps, yes.
Now, I ain't much friendly with the living and the people around this world, really, but it's still my home. I have people here, the Void Folk. My mistress has given me power to defend. Now, that's my charge. That is why I took my oath. When it comes to Vagor, the Faefather as you know him, he's up to something. I believe he's going to use this calamity, this thing, to kickstart his plan.
What plan do you think he has in mind?
Well, I think that he has made enemy of all life on the material plane. That's my reckoning. You tell me yours.
I can see why you'd think that. There's nothing to do with all life. It simply is... Well, he sees the way that the material plane's been developing as a harmful thing. And in actual fact, it is that way. If you look at what happened, all the problems caused on this material plane are caused by the people inhabiting it and the choices they make.
Yeah, but they deserve to fix it on their own. Or at least attempt to.
I'm not saying I agree with him, I'm just telling you his point of view. Because I know it well. His point of view is that people pollute this world, and they can perhaps fix the pollution, but as it is in their nature to pollute it once more, or start wars, or spill blood over small disagreements, it would be better if this endless cycle of greed and selfishness were to be extinguished once and for all. Now, I'm not saying I agree with him, I'm just saying I understand the way that he believes this to be, and in some parts I agree. There are choices that are made on this plane which, well, they're not a choice I would make. At the same time, I also see that there's good here, but, well, it's a difficult question to say what weighs more heavily.
Look, the past decade or so, I spent a lot of my time dealing with the after effects of some of his plans. I don't know if you know about the portals, what happened to New Auckland, to the Shattered Isles.
Mm-hmm.
They're all his doing. Portal's gone wrong, and you don't have to tell me what he did to her.
As if it's doing nefarious things with the Dark Scroll.
Yeah,
just in the background.
Look, he's got to be stopped. His avatars have got to be stopped. At least if we put them away, then he can't interfere anymore. His worshippers and his people, his cult or whatever, do what they do. But he won't be there to physically manipulate the material plane. Look, we all know time is wishy-washy in the Feywild. And because of that, he's been able to plant these gates throughout time. And it's caused a lot of damage. But I'm no hero, and I'm not pretending to be. I just do what I'm told by my mistress. Just keep staring at you as you're silent.
Do you expect a response?
What I want to hear from you, Laniros. Not that you're gonna turn, Father. That you just keep an open mind for his antics. Trust me, when the day comes, he won't hesitate to step over your corpse to get to his goals.
I'm well aware of this.
That's good.
And it's one of the reasons that I didn't stay there. I wanted to see what else was on offer in the other planes. And the material plane is quite hospitable in that sense.
But we know that many of the Fae oppose him and his ways. He's brought order to a world that dislikes it. So, I want to thank you and your friends for bringing this to me. Chest. His eyes are still inky black, by the way, they haven't faded. But I will use this power. Fight him. And that. Sky.
Yes, I was going to say, I feel somehow that any squabbles we might have on this world, no matter what plane it is, are of less importance now than the threat that's racing to us from the sky.
Well,
What I will do is just say, I will keep an open mind. That's all I can promise for now.
I'm gonna head back to my people. When the time comes, there is a few friends of mine. Got me, Storm Soul, children, got, well, no, I don't know if he will, but he might. He might turn up. I'll let them know. Right?
Who?
Oh. You ever been to Capital Island?
Mm-hmm.
It's in the big statue of that gnome.
Mm-hmm.
him. Knew him once. Not exactly the same now. Kind of rolling.
I see.
But he's a powerful archmage. And I doubt that he's going to sit there. What's happened to them? I mean, I could be wrong. Everything he's done lately is control information in and out of that island. I don't have to tell you, you've been there, right?
Mm-hmm.
People inside don't believe there's a war outside. Soldiers that come back tell tales of it are silenced. It's fucked up. I mean, I've tried speaking to him, but he won't see me anymore. No, we're old friends. Known him for like 60 years. I'm gonna try. Time comes, see you there at the battlefield.
Mm-hmm.
With an open mind with what I said. Aegor's not to be trusted. Neither of his sons. Arseholes.
Nah, it's just chuckles at that.
We don't even have the Paragon feed.
Classic. Alright, so Elzef, is there anything you'd like to do up there with the Dark Soul?
Well, I've got it now, right? Mission accomplished. Linnaeus, are you done with your little date?
Date?
With the Void Man.
We've concluded our conversation.
Okay, we still have to decide what to do with the last soul, and then I forgot what was on our schedule afterwards.
Maisie
Trying
turns
to
to you,
control the Tarask.
eyes full of tears. Resurrecting Chester, of course!
Oh yeah, that's gonna wait a day. It's gonna knock me right out, so we should probably have Olwen or Linnaeus do it.
Owen's not there, he's floated off a...
Yeah, the boy's not even here. Look, it's gotta wait. Chester can be dead for a day.
But he'll come back tomorrow.
If he feels like it, probably.
Good. Okay, so upstairs, Orwin, you go through the trapdoor and into this messy interior of... It's just like a museum of antiques. And in one room you do see the mattress and where he slept. And he leads you and deeper into the tower and pushes apart some bookshelves, and all of these scrolls and books fall off. They look like some ancient antique history, and he's just throwing them around the room, trying to get past. And then he like burns up one area of like paper, and then like throws away the embers and walks up to an orb. It looks dead, almost kind of like a glassy scrying orb, but slightly bigger. And he hefts it. Aha! Here it is. Touch it.
Sure. Reaches out.
Gotta mean it though.
You gotta tell me what I need to mean, because you're just
catch!
showing me a
And
glass ball at the moment.
He just throws you the glass bowl like in the middle of the conversation. Catch it?
Yep.
Yeah, that's all. And the moment you catch it, power fills it, like brimming to the edge, like straight out of the mana soul and from your own power, and the weave just immediately fills it. And then he smiles. Oh, the end smiles. So,
You going to tell me what this is all about then?
yeah, there's someone we need to visit, but I can't do it today.
Right, and what's this thing? Like a big battery of some kind?
I just wanted to make sure that, yeah, he did have the skill. This is just a test.
Chucks it back.
He catches it and it fills with like a green energy. A green wild magic. His floats like freely in it, and he seems to control it with just his mind, forming like shapes, frogs, butterflies, and then you hear a voice, "Turn Fryson Croak!" Flicks it up and down, throws it to the side, and you just say, "Tsh."
So who is it you want me to see then?
A friend. A dead friend.
Right, and in what capacity are we going to be seeing him?
We are going to be seeing him the way he used to be, but ghostly, of course.
Sure.
We're going far, though, so make sure you've got everything crossed off of the calendar for tomorrow. I gotta show you the star. Just the star.
Just one, because, it sounds a little bit creepy,
It does sound creepy, doesn't it? Yeah, we're going to the Temple of
Yeah,
Light.
like you brought me up to your bedroom and you're telling me you're going to show me the stars and...
I can show you the world.
Broke thrice and dance for me.
He does say, look, we're going to the Temple of Light.
Right, that sounds
Where he died.
better.
Killed by a void dragon. I was there, afterwards.
Sounds like a terrible shame.
Yes, but we need to speak to him. You are as skilled as you are. I can help you get more powerful. Fight that thing on its own.
Well, that would be more useful, given the circumstances at the moment.
Well, I can't leave the tower, so I guess I'll be seeing you tomorrow. I mean, by the way, it's like 5 in the morning. You guys turned up here at like 5 in the morning.
Do you mind if, I stay around here?
You're more than welcome. Lodgers. It's best to stay up here. It's a bit hot down there.
Just be easy, I'm quite tapped myself.
I'm not tapped, I'm just...
Yeah, right you are. Well, do you mind if I have a read of your books?
Oh no, go ahead. I've read every corner.
Yeah, I guess he just goes and has a little wander and sees what arcane delights await.
Lineros, your passive perception is really high, and at that moment you see Galabash disappear and fade into the background and become Mr. Void. You do hear creak of the iron gates of the graveyard opened inside the tower.
Mm-hmm.
A voice. Harley Aiden! I know you're there.
Do I recognize the voice?
You don't. Oh, actually, make an intelligence check. You might. Actually, no, this could be... This could be...
History?
Mm,
Or just
a
intelligence?
bog standard intelligence. Okay, so... It's on the, like when you remember something, it's just on the edge. That's what's happening. And it's only as it gets closer. Ali Aiden! I've come to talk about my son. You remember you heard this voice in the world of Ruin. He was at a farmhouse with the Drow Druid. And he was the... And you found out that, yeah, that guy was the father of Dolaf.
Yep. Okay.
And there's a grinding sound, as you can... the wall that you had come through previously kind of opens again. And there stands a elvish figure with white hair, robes, or travel robes, and a very obvious Archmage's staff. Glimmering with power. And he stands there and looks in as a wave of heat hits him. It ruffles his hair. And you see he's got grey eyebrows. He's got the odd sort of fading pale tattoos of a wild elf. Forest elf. And as he looks in, sees you all. Eros for now. And he just looks speechless. Steps in. I've come looking for Ali Aiden.
He's here, but he's not here.
You have killed him.
No.
How else do you stand in this chamber?
We have freed him from the power that was possessing him.
Around the room, sees Maisie. Elzef.
Elsef gives like a cheeky wave.
I am Adawan.
Good to meet you. In better circumstances, I hope.
It has come to the attention of our family that my son launched an attack, failed, perhaps defeated. The wife, telling me of what happened, sent me out to find him. Try to convince him. I know that this probably won't work. But I can tell somehow fate is involved. You know of him, don't you?
Your son is Doda, right?
So,
Yes, we had a run-in with him not too long from now and fought his army.
I wish I could apologise and fix this. And compared to the guy in the World of Ruin, this guy actually seems, believe it or not, more bedraggled, more like the stress has taken. For an elf, the smooth lines of his face have become kind of weathered features and gaunt looking. Despite the look and air of a powerful mage, looks like he's seen better days.
Well, we can talk to you about what we've seen of his behavior, what we've seen of his countenance. I can't speak to his soul, but at least his actions are pretty clear. He wishes to leave this world for the ones coming from the sky and live in blissful ignorance, dooming all the world to slavery.
What you've got to realise is, this happened to him once before. His wife went to a world of, affection? The way I say it is, it was a realm where illusion created lies around its inhabitants, made them think they were in a perfect world. He destroyed it. Great irony, I guess. Now seeks to return.
Do you know of his motivation?
Ever since he returned from the void, it's been hard to know him again. Something wrong in the brain, something corrupted. Killed his own daughter, open court.
Right. Would you come with me for a moment, please?
Adawan nods, and as he turns, he moves his Archmage staff, and the walls behind him close.
Yep.
It's some time since I've been here.
I will cast Fly at 4th level on the two of us, and we'll fly up.
Hi, Elzef. Just cheeky wave. And as you fly up towards the trapdoor, and enter into this dark, dingy kind of attic area, still vaulted and large, and it's still got this stuffy warmth, nowhere near as warm as down there. As you're up, you see in the far corner there is a arcane light floating above Alwyn, who's reading from some books and some tomes, and then you see Arlie Aiden is sitting on the chandelier, maybe about 40 foot up. He looks down, goes, oh shit, and then Adawan goes, you! And draws his staff up towards him. Says, you get down here and you answer for your crimes.
Put that away, please. We're here to talk.
Spins his staff, slams it down. Arlie Aiden goes, yes, uncle, I'm no longer that thing, remember? Holds his hands up like this. Does like the jazz hands. Still a fool.
Be that as it may, what we've seen is that something was possessing him, and it caused him to brave erratically, I believe, for quite a long time. Please, again, speak for yourself and explain, because he has all the memories of this period, so he knows quite a bit of what happened, and previously this didn't make any sense. It just seemed like he was crazed, but with what we've seen now, perhaps something similar is happening to Dolath, and similar treatment needs to be given.
Arlian says, interesting theory. He hops down and floats to the ground. Look, Uncle, the shard has been... It's been taken. Adawan looks confused. How? A Void Eater. These guys are excellent. They trapped Erebus and then made this orc turn up and he actually ate it. And Adawan says, I've heard of Void. So it really is you? Walks up to him, peers into his eyes, Arlian and boo! And Adawan doesn't jump or move back. And Arlian begins to explain your plight, who you're fighting, why you're fighting. And the conversation goes on for some time. Arlian and Adawan exchanging stories. And Arlian telling Adawan about the King in Yellow, and all of his experience as a Yellow Prince. His communications with his cousin, which wasn't much, by the way. Seemed that they communicated via magic a lot, but not in person. And Arlian then begins to explain that the avatar of Loki is in this graveyard, by the way. If he hadn't joined in the battle and been defeated, he's still here somewhere. And he's been the one acting on his behalf out in the world. He explains that Loki is involved with this King in Yellow, is allied with him. So is the god Tyr.
Yeah. Hell.
So he explains that Tyr was killed by the King in Yellow some time ago and corrupted. And that explains, like, if we go back to Voidheart, when Rocket's character Dolaf went to go visit Tyr and he was all fucking zombified and had a missing arm. Like, it was all zombified and shit. So yeah, he's dead and corrupt. So these two gods have just kind of taken on King in Yellow's will. Except Loki more has his own will. Wants to... Arlian continues to explain this, Adawan taking it all in. And their conversation goes on over food. So downstairs, Elzef, while this is going on, you can hear voices echoing down. And the Dark Soul says, oh, left out like I always was.
Do you want to be up there?
Oh, would be nice though, wouldn't it?
Not really. Whenever I suggest anything, it's always like, oh no, Elsa, how can you be so callous? All these people are gonna die.
Maisie's just looking, by the way.
How you doing, Macy?
Not good. She wanders off around the pillar. Don't look at me or talk to me.
Man, everyone's just so nice to me at all times.
You're welcome to my world.
You're real down.
Did you know I don't have to breathe?
Do I have to breathe?
I'd like to breathe.
It's not great.
To know what it feels like. I'd like to see the light. Can't. I'm in perpetual darkness. You know when there's guardians like drew me out of the world? You know what they did?
What did they do?
Put me like the most happiest person.
But you want to see the light, but you don't want to be inside a happy person?
Oh no. Like I'm literally in darkness in here, I can't see a thing.
Like you wouldn't see anything exciting?
Better than nothing.
Do you know what the Deep Soul does?
Yeah.
Do you want to inform me of what the Deep Soul does?
No.
Oh my god, you're literally just as bad as the Void Soul.
Why? What did he say? What did he say about me?
He said you wouldn't tell me what I want to know anyway, so I might as well not get you.
Oh well, the Deep Soul Oh, I don't know.
Okay, so it's not that you didn't want to tell me, you just don't know.
Oh, I don't. And
That's
he's
standard.
like you feel like someone's just turned away from you.
I guess Elsa Flag just sits down on the stairs and starts a short rest.
Yeah, let me just that you. So
I've copied everything.
I heard what works really well is like if the Dark Souls being like that, just tell him to go back to his room.
there's something funny, Adrian.
What?
I actually copy pasted the part.
So it was the features for the Deep Soul.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Do you actually want the? I'll send the Dark Soul. Sorry, dude. I don't know why I copied the Deep Soul. It's stupid. It's that was cool. You're gonna hate me now. There you go, Dark Soul.
So can I also have some passive feature, please?
No.
Aw.
Where is it? Is that one on under features?
No, I
or-
literally copy pasted it onto your
Ah. I mean, +2 to all ability scores is pretty neat. That's just gonna further improve my fucking saving throws, Liam.
I know I was really tempted to just swap the Deep Soul and the Dark Soul around just a bit. But I gotta stick to
Excuse
my
me.
guns.
He gets +2 to everything, and I get resistance to radiant damage.
I mean, this is literally just better for Elsa because it makes her tankier.
I don't even get resistance to damage.
As a reaction,
That meme! You just did that actual meme! Oh, good.
As a reaction, the Dark Soul can reduce an incoming attack or spell to 0 damage. This feature restores if the Dark Soul kills a living creature of at least half its CR. I mean, killing a creature of half of Elsa's CR, really difficult at this point, but Wait. Only if she does that or also on a long rest?
It's only if you do that.
Oh, that's not as good, but sure. Please continue with the plot upstairs.
Yeah, okay. Alright, so upstairs, time goes by, and all in, as you're reading books, you realise quite a lot of these papers and books are rantings of a madman. There are some diamonds in the rough, but a lot of it is ranting. And, like, you do find, like, basically a very kind of Corpus Mentis journal of basically the events of Void Heart. Just find it. You're like, what the... And you begin reading it, and the adventures of it begins to explain a lot as to how some of the characters met throughout the journey of how they have. Especially the mention of Dolaf and following that. It mentions also in there a cleric that was once friends with them called Sister Bernadine. And you're starting to have a vague recollection of her. I've met her before. Like perhaps, like you're thinking like about that. And I've met her before, especially when you teleported. I can't remember the name. Ragnarok, when you teleported there. There was a cleric of Boulder there. And matches her description. It mentions another elephant, like a familiar, that Arliaden had. It goes on and on about how this familiar used magical items, and you're just completely bewildered at how an elephant threw a staff at a void creature and it blew up, and you just... That part is the most bizarre part about it. Mentions that it was an elephant that was only 2 foot tall, and at that time you flick the book and an actual deed falls out. And at the beginning of the story it mentioned that Arliaden said he bought a deed for an elephant, and you have the deed right there. It's literally written in his own handwriting that he has a purchase of 2, not 1, but 2 desert elephants.
Well, it's a mystery.
And one by the name of Tumble Timbers.
So be it. As the history was written.
That gets filed into all the libraries as to how it actually happened. It does paint a very bad light on a dwarf he calls Stumpy Mern that threw him off a cliff, but he was rescued by Mother the Phoenix. It does go on and on and on about this mother. As, you know, as to expect. And Arliaden does go, oh, that's a good one, that. As he's talking. And Lineros.
It's certainly interesting.
I know, it's exactly true. Everything, every word is how it happened. Did you know a black dragon came to the wedding?
It does say that. Page 232.
Yeah. So, as I was saying, and he continues on, and Lineros, as the conversation goes on, it's obvious that there's still magic inside Arliaden despite the child being gone. He's still a little bit eccentric, a little bit...
Yep, it's fine as long as he's not trying to kill the world. That's a lot better state than we're in previously.
But he does begin to mention the machines that are planted across the world. When they're activated, they will create a net. Giving one to Yahweh would break a certain area. If he was to take it away, the reason why he suggested is that it may break a certain area. The nets will still connect, but you may create like a hole. Begins to mention that the God King, Alphadil, was basically the mastermind
behind making the hole in the net.
No, the net itself, like all the machines.
That's okay. Yeah,
Says,
I was going to say that didn't seem likely.
We were foiled by Capital City. Our one there was found out. So. Say we, but I'm no longer that. So.
Yes, it's a good thing that he's gone. That doesn't reduce our current issues. Either way, on Dolath, as mentioned, I'm not quite sure if it is the same, but he seems to share some of this. The character's still there, but it's not quite there. Feeling that I have about him.
Cousin was always moody. Did you know?
And you were always a bit weird, from what I hear. But you know, you weren't weird in the sense that, oh well, on an off chance that it might just work, let's just nuke the world. You were more like, well, I might lick a toad or something weird, right?
Talking of licking toads, did you know once outside the fort I caught him eating a rat or drinking its blood or something?
Well, I mean, I don't know if you've heard of Zerxil, but I'm used to things like that.
No one's heard of Zerxil, they just look over.
Yeah, just someone I read about, some recent history. Anyway, strange fellas are not necessarily bad to have around. You just need to get past the awkwardness of sharing their mind space sometimes. So when it comes to Dolath, look, you probably know him better than I do, but he seems to be, well, a bit like a petulant child not getting his wish and then stomping his feet. In this case, that summons an army. But that's what it seemed like. There was no reasonable discourse. One of the members of our party told him some unkind words, and he just lost his stuff.
I can't quite speak to now. I only know what was.
Mm-hmm.
He lost his wife. Something snapped. That's it.
Yes, and the question is, what does this mean exactly that something snapped? I mean, if we know about the fact that corruption is a real thing in this world, and Void or other influences might be trying to get in moments of weakness like this to
I
take
have
possession of a powerful mind, that might be something to look at. Like, I'm not
I
saying
have-
that that's the case, but it's just something to look at.
I have a fear, Laniros, that there's no magic. My son is lost.
There might still be something we can do.
Thank you. For that, there is something I'd like to help you with. I see that you are a very versatile and well-versed wizard. I see it in the way you act and cast magic. I am one of the world's only archmages left. But most of my friends and council members have died. Passed. I would like to pass some of my knowledge on. Me.
That would be most welcome. Would it be something we'd want to record for someone else to share in some point in time?
That would be entirely up to you. I don't plan on teaching. After this is done. Done a lot of good, a lot of bad in my. I'll teach the skills to you. Decide what to do.
Very well.
Nods. You need me. Ready. In Ragnarok.
Right, well, I was thinking more like tomorrow.
I'll be in my sanctum.
Okay. One moment. I'll just open the trapdoor and shout down. How are you doing over there, Elsa? Is everything okay? You happy to stay here for the night?
I sort of forgot what we came here for. I thought we wanted Owen to try to control the terrace.
That's fine then. You just stay there. I'll just close.
Yeah. Owen has the orb. He can attune to it whenever he wants.
Owen, do you have any? Well, you sometimes have this ability to restore some magic. Do you either have that ability left in you today, or can you teleport?
I have very little left, but what is it you need exactly? You want to go
Right, well,
somewhere, or?
My thinking is if perhaps you could help as well, but I didn't want to assume. Condoleezza, father. If we need to visit your sanctum, it would be beneficial if we know how to get there. If there's a teleportation circle, we can learn it. Otherwise, we can teleport there, so that we know how to get there next time. Would you be capable of teleporting us there? I'm asking Dolad's father in this case, not Owen. I'm just asking Owen if he can refuel my spells, basically. So
Yeah, Adwin does agree. I can teleport us to Ragnarok.
Very well, then I suggest we do so. I will be able to come back here. Owen, in that case, I can make the return journey by myself.
Right, okay, if you're sure. I could spare enough, I think, for a circle to teleportation, at the least.
No, that's okay. Thank you.
Well, I plan to remain here and take a journey with Our Lady tomorrow, so I'll be here until tomorrow morning.
Very good. Alright, so my plan then is to have him teleport us to the sanctum, stay there overnight, and then I'll make the return journey myself. There's no rush just getting back.
Nope.
Everyone else is happy to stay.
Alright, so you're teleporting to the sanctum now, I'm assuming, with him?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Elzef, Maisie, Owen are staying here.
Mhm.
Right, nice. So as the day goes on, it comes to about midday after all of this is done and some lunch is had, and then Padawan agrees to teleport at the moment, if you. And the teleportation leads you to a tower. And as...
I'm just short rest.
Yeah, that's fine. And as you appear, it's very obvious that as you've appeared, the tower is outside of the city. You can see outside the windows. You see the city maybe about half a mile off, and that you're on top of a kind of hill with a cliffside that leads down towards a short forested path that leads towards Ragnarok. And he directs you towards the sea and begins collecting books from various shelves here. And you see he's got golems, shield golems, that do some work during them. And he begins to say, first things first, you're going to have to learn this. And this is simple. No, it's not simple. It's knowledge on how to create an epic spell.
Okay.
You'll need this to cast spells beyond the norm.
What do you mean beyond the norm?
He smiles. Ooh, you're in for a world of power, my friend. Good luck. Just
Okay.
says, I'll be back in a few hours. And he leaves about maybe 3 or 4 books on the table for you to read.
Okay.
It's your study for the day.
Yep, I'll do just that.
Elzef, as the day goes on, having fought that battle, taken some massive hits, taken some damage, dealt it out yourself, the fight was one of the toughest so far. But that didn't put you down. As you're walking around, you're feeling, despite the Dark Soul being a morose little bit, you are starting to feel quite confident. Starting to feel...
I feel like Elzef enjoys the morose little bitch, though.
Yeah, but you don't hear much from him. You are beginning to feel more confident in yourself, as if you've suddenly... You've unlocked some knowledge and some power within yourself that was always there. But it's only just kind of come forward, and you realise... touchable, you just don't seem to go down. Is there anything you'd like to do for the rest of the afternoon?
Elzef is gonna loot the place.
What, just the lower floor?
No, if she has fly, she goes up.
Ah, okay, yeah. There is a massive museum of antiques, so it's not like there's like a massive amount of stuff. It's just not worth a lot, that's all I'm saying.
What sort of antiques does he have?
You know, like paintings, broken vases. There's like statues. At one point, you walk up to a chest, like a very large chest, and in kind of like calligraphy along the top, it says "Do not open." Immortal Dave.
I don't think I'm gonna open that. That's some weird shit.
Yeah, and then you come across a statue of a very lifelike looking soldier. He looks very kind of Nordrakian with a big bearded axe and a big round shield. But as you walk around, you realise, oh, he's been... I can't remember the name of it. Yeah, he's been blood-eagled and then petrified in the moment of being blood-eagled.
Morbid.
Yeah, and you can
It is a bit.
You can see into the back, like all of the organs, and the fact that his lungs were half pulled out. Ah. Get closer, and yeah. And then there's a tunic on the wall. You approach. It says this tunic is like made out of some fine black satin, and it's got this spider web motif. And underneath there's a placard saying it was worn by the last drow.
Shit, I didn't know Drow were extinct.
They are extinct in this part of the continent, yeah. In fact, Adawan's brother was the one that hunted them to extinction.
I'm gonna identify the tunic worn by the last Drow.
Not magical, just very fine.
Shit.
Ollie Aiden is watching you from the chandelier as you're going past stuff, and he says, "Do you see anything takes your fancy?"
Don't you have anything, I don't know, that's actually worth owning?
I've got this, and he floats back down and moves over and he goes, "This was gifted to me by Kolka on one of his travels," and he hands you this weird looking like firearm. Not like anything you've ever seen. Like you're used to firearms as an artificer. You know guns, you know like certain things. But this one's weird. It's like it's got a stock quite firm, and it's got like a clip, and got this sight on the end, and it's made out of like black metal.
It's a fucking assault rifle.
Yeah, it's an M16.
That's a fan setback.
He goes, "Oh, it doesn't work anyway." He points at you, bam, bam, and it just clicks empty.
Where did the guys go?
They went to Ragnarok. But your other guy's over there, buried in paper.
Owen, how are you doing?
You stay away from over here, alright?
Okay, but you don't have to be so aggressive. What have I done
Look,
to you?
I see your beady little eyes doing your looting vision.
Wait, is there actually something
I'm trying
good?
to read this now.
Is this actually good to loot?
No, that's why you stay away from it. It's just interesting. You don't
I am
like
ju-
interesting things.
What do you mean I don't like it? I'm very well read. What are you saying?
Are you really? I've never seen it.
I've studied at the university. I've taught at the university. What are you saying? You've
That
literally
place has really
seen
gone
me read
downhill.
the books on the Yellow King.
Is that true, though?
I mean, yeah.
Like, you actually absorbed the information. You didn't just go, "Oh, I might steal that at some point. That sounds interesting. I wonder if I could loot that."
I mean, yeah, I wrote down the recipe for his weird poison. And I skimmed all the parts about him being a mama's boy. Yeah, I mostly just wrote down the parts about the poison.
Right, that's what I thought. So I'm just saying, I'm just trying to read and find out a little bit about the word. So, let me have that.
But is that as interesting as trying to control the Tarask?
Oh, absolutely. Like, look, if you want the thing, have the thing. Oh, but you can't use it. Why
How?
don't you go give it to Maisie and go bug her about it?
What is the point in bringing along a pubescent boy when he's not even reckless and doing weird things? I don't understand. I don't want to bugger Maisie. She's all mad because her husband-to-be died.
Yeah, I think that's pretty reasonable outlook in life, to be honest.
It was Chester. They were
It only
barely
makes
on
it, like,
speaking terms.
marginally better.
You know you're gonna have to revive him tomorrow.
Oh, I can't. I'm busy tomorrow.
What do you mean you're busy tomorrow? You're too busy to... Aren't you supposed to be the good half of this conversation?
I have important things to do. I'm going with Early Aiden. You're quite capable yourself. Don't worry, you got this.
I'm not gonna use one of the 2 wishes on my Ring of Wishes to bring back Chester Decker. When you can just do it once a day.
That's very selfish of you. Maybe you should think about that.
That can't be
He looks
selfish.
down to the paper again.
Well, rubbing off on him, Elsa says to Ali Aiden, and just continues trying to loot his tower.
Can you make an investigation check?
That was so close to greatness. Did I tell you that my in-saving throws are now 19?
Yeah, you've told. I can see it. Okay,
If I use my bonus action feature, that always gives me +5.
so
I can now get a base 25 roll without rolling.
it takes you. You're just looking around. It's something interesting to do while you wait, and about an hour or 2 into it, you see that there is a particular storybook, quite large, on an easel, like a painted easel, maybe on the far side, and you walk up to it. For some reason, feel like you need to walk. As you see it, it's got the image of a sort of paladin or warrior on the front, with kind of stitched in like big silver mail with a massive shield. And as you get closer, you see that the actual warrior on the front has blonde hair and is elvish and holds aloft a sword that's like 3 times the size of it.
Elsif takes the book and sits down in the right in front of Olwen. Is like, I'm gonna read the book. And starts reading the book.
The moment she opens the book, she disappears, as if sucked into it like a Jumanji book.
I fucking knew it.
And when she reappears, Elsif, for the last year, you have been fighting a constant battle inside this storybook. An absolute melee brawl of the random heroes or people in the multiverse just surviving. You've managed to get rests here and there, but as she reappears, Olwen, you just see an Elsif that just has been gone for a minute, but in her time, it seems to have been forever. She's got bruises, cuts, her armor's just completely like scuffed and covered in old brown spatters of blood. Is there anything else you'd like to add into this? Did anything you would have done during this period in particular?
I feel like Elsif would have decorated her armor with a few skulls to look a bit more menacing.
As you reappear, yeah, you just like skulls on spikes, and you just kind of look like a what are they called? Like a chaos marine.
Witness me.
Yeah, like a chaos marine as you've come back.
Like with angry face painting.
Yeah. Yeah, and Aliada just looks down, and like as you do come back, it's kind of like this very slow process, like that scene in Watchmen, like as Dr. Manhattan is being reformed, as she just begins to reform in front of you, and you watch slowly, and as she evaporates. Is there anything to say?
Ugh, that is so typical of you.
It wasn't a very good book. And Elsif rips off one of the skulls and throws it at Aliaden.
He kind of like, ugh! Yeah, you look down and it's the tail of the Elvish Dreadnought.
Who just has that lying about?
Aliaden's like, did you have fun at least? I mean,
A bit.
you wouldn't die in there, or at least I don't think you.
No, I'm too good.
It's a realistic tale. There's books like that all around here, where you like live as the protagonist.
And you complain about not being able to leave the tower?
Well, yeah, I've read them all.
Did you do the skulls bit?
Oh, it seems that you took on the role of the antagonist, the villain. I don't know how you did that. Did you win?
I did. Of course I won.
Did you kill Prince Alejandro?
He didn't seem like a good guy. I didn't agree with his tax policies.
Leon just narrows his eyes and goes, "Give me that book." He
That's
like
brilliant.
does walk off with it, open it, and then disappear. Moments later, he comes back with long hair, all braided. He looks like he's in fine robes, and then he looks well fed and like he's had a long rest. And then he just looks at you and goes, "You're a monster."
Oh, look, it's been a while since we fought, but you were 4 meters tall and glowing. I feel like, look.
So long ago. Why? Flies back onto his chandelier. I've lived an entire life. Thoughtful. You should get rid of those.
I mean, Elsif is an elf, so it was like a long holiday for her, but not a big deal. She just goes to do some armor maintenance to make it look less scary and again, like it can be seen in public.
Yeah, of course. All right. So as the days go on, as the day goes on and it comes into the evening, Linnaeus finishes reading his books. He's given more. It's just unlimited study, just mathematical calculations and like information on planes, the multiverse, the weave. Then as the day goes on, you realise that Arliana walks up and goes, "Hey, turns out I'm okay to go."
Right, good. Not exactly, but sure, let's go.
Okay. Bit weird because, of course, I managed to get a rest inside the book.
Oh, very well.
I wouldn't suggest going. Turned it into nightmare world.
Oh, believe me, I have no intention to follow in Elsa's footsteps.
So he says, "You're going to have to take my hand," and then casting the spell. And as he does, the reagent he had in his hand shatters. You see a mirror nearby, like ripples.
Concerning, but okay.
And as I'm assuming you go through,
Mm-hmm.
and as you walk through, the first thing that you notice is how bright it is. Just, it takes a while to adjust. The first thing is you're blinded by white light, and even he is. And for a moment, it takes like a minute to adjust. And there is just white, clean marble everywhere. And in front of you, a wall of flame goes from right where you can see, maybe about 200 feet in front of you, and just travels up. White flame, roiling sea of white heat that then hits a magical shield and becomes an aurora over your head. And this temple just spreads left and right her eyes, and it's like a ring around this fire. And up ahead there are platforms, round platforms floating, and they all seem to be moving very slowly, as if whatever it is moving and rotating around this wall of fire. Arliaden just points towards it. That's our star. And then he walks up the nearby steps.
It's quite the apt name. As he rubs his eyes.
Yeah. You get used to it, of course. There's magic here that's binding you off. And then as you do walk up these steps and enter a nice platform, it's maybe about 60 foot in diameter. The marble is just pure, pristine white. To your right there is a temple that floats by with some hanging gardens. You see that on this platform is a large carved dragon. You see the wings spread out in front of you, the bone and a tail that spreads out, and a skull that you guys have to walk through to get to the other side. Climbs through. And following the path up, you reach the temple, and in the temple, laid out on a marble white sarcophagus, are the bones of an elf. And he walks up. This is Volker.
Just kind of a bit lost, like, cool, like, interesting.
Arliaden seems to be looking for something. Probably find his sword. Left it here. That's a little joke back to Voidheart, you guys. He had the sword of creation and you guys just didn't.
You guys didn't take the sword of creation?
They left it. They totally forgot about it. And at one point, I think Chris even went, "Did we take his sword?"
You mean Curtis was in that game, the man who wants to cut out monsters' eyeballs, and he didn't take the sword of creation?
I don't think he was actually playing at this point.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
That explains a lot.
everything.
Yeah. And, well, Arliaden begins looking. He's going to roll an investigation check.
Curtis would have taken the sword and the arm it was attached to and tried to sell it to some peddler.
They'll probably thrown away the sword and kept the arm.
Believe it or not, back then he was playing a cleric. He did actually roleplay as a cleric.
It's a perfectly good arm. Why don't you want to buy it?
Let's note, though, that it was, of course, a cleric of...
Partying.
of the god of booze and parties.
That makes more sense.
It was the god of beauty, and his actual channel of divinity was to summon booze.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No, they literally was that, yeah. And it gave temporary hit points, but Arlie Aiden's inspiring speech gave more temporary hit points. So after a while, Arlie Aiden does find the sword and brings it to you.
Yeah. What do I do with this exactly?
I don't know. Head with him? I don't know. Keep it if you want.
I don't even know what it is.
He hands you a greatsword with a red blade.
Christ, it's heavy. What would I do with something like that?
But it wouldn't.
He just kind of puts it down on the thing next to him.
Arlie Aiden says, right, so what we have to do here is turn 3 times.
Right.
Turn 3 times.
Croak like a frog.
Yes, like a... I did this once in a pond and it worked, trust me.
Liam, how did he get out of the tower?
Who?
Liam.
Teleported.
But he can't leave the tower, he's the fire soul again.
And leave the tower. Leaves the tower for a prolonged period of time. The world starts to fall apart.
Okay, okay, it just feels like they're taking a lot of time here. Dilly-dallying.
No, yeah, and he does turn 3 times. Rick!
And I do the same.
Yeah, you do the same.
Right.
I mean, to be more authentic, we should have a pond, but as you can summon
that's literally what I was about to ask, is do we need a pond?
Could do.
Got a pond to hand?
No, I don't really summon pond spell, do you?
I can manipulate ponds, but not really create them.
Then no. Just do it. On. Waiting for you to do the ritual. Can you roll a performance check?
It's the best goddamn frog he's ever seen.
Amazing frog.
And there's a flash of light on the sword. And you see the ethereal image of a elf in blue robes. His ears are more like Laniros's than elvish. They're slightly longer. Air flows back as if he is of the same race as Laniros, but he's different, more celestial looking. In fact, can you make a honor check? What did you get?
26.
Okay, he is an Abor... No. Toriel. He's a star elf. One of the first kind of like primordial elves. And he looks towards Arlie Aiden. Aiden does begin to speak on your behalf. Master Kolka, this is a friend of mine. Oh, I know. I'm sorry for everything now. This is important. Midgard's at stake. Looks towards you. He is powerful enough. No, he is. Like I was before. No, not like at the mouth of... No, not like that. Different. Purer as well. I mean, yeah, I know he's young and he looks like a Backstreet Boy, but... Yeah, I can vouch for him. And it seemed like this ghost isn't talking whatsoever. But Arlie Aiden's talking to himself.
Mm.
And then the ghost looks at you, moves forward, reaches his hand out.
What do? Looks towards Ollie Aiden.
I don't know, he probably touched his hand. You don't have to jack him off or anything.
Well, it could be like payment or something. I was gonna fucking jack him off.
Arlie Aiden laughed.
just reaches out to grasp his hand.
Nothing happens. Ghost looks... Oh, like... wrong or something?
Are you having me on here with this? Is this some kind of ruse?
Physically here, is he? He's...
Hello,
Oh,
Mr. Colker.
looks like he sighs almost. Towards himself. See, he's clearly ghost-like.
Right. I think I understand what he's trying to tell me. He's pretty bad at it, though. Obviously didn't play much charades in his day. And I'll try going into the ethereal.
Alright, yeah, so as you go into the ethereal plane, immediately he glows. Like white, has an outline, is immediately more detailed. You see the full beauty behind that race, the styles, and immediately his touch is more physical than it was before. And the moment you touch it, you are filled with brimming overload of power. Then it fades, and you stand back in the Temple of Light. And Ali just and then then you are blown back as your vision just travels through, like, we're talking like light years of space and multiverse, and you just see images flashing in front of you, just going by. At one point you see a samurai kneeling down, white hair, top knot, and he's cleaning his blade, and he stands, he's ready for a duel. And then immediately you see two firebenders opposite one another on top of an arena, ready to fight each other to the death. Then you witness a drunk woman with a gun and a man that uses cards to cast magic fight off werewolves in a small town near a reef. You then see a peg-legged young scientist flee from a horde of undead. A great yellow cloud hangs low in the sky over a city that she's in. A large bearded friend shoots his gun into the encroaching horde. Then it switches to a young Snurfnebbling running from a huge void orb rolling through the countryside. Then it switches to another white-haired samurai preparing for a duel, watching and remembering as his father died. You see a bunch of pirate bandits attempt a comical escape from a prison by blowing up the wall and running across rooftops. You see a vast planet-sized cannon shoot at a galaxy-spanning fleshy entity. Inside an aircraft, a crystal golem entity pulls a lever and dooms his squadron as they fall to the ground below. Thousands of men charge across no man's land, only to be gunned down by people on the other side. Red Jester's about to be hanged, but a bullet cuts through the rope and saves him. Zolaf rejoices at his wedding. An orc breaks free from a cage and destroys a troll snake god cultist with a single hand and takes down the rest with his axe Gorehowl. And then immediately you fall to the ground and take a deep breath, remembering for some reason many events. And as you stand up and look around, Ali Aiden smiles.
When does the pain go? That was a lot.
Oh, it's like a hangover.
God. I only had my first hangover like a month ago. This is awful.
Well, you look around and Kolka's gone. Body now lays rested with Sword of Creation.
Take the sword.
That's paining you so much, isn't it?
He was like, oh, I'm just gonna put the sword aside, it's heavy.
That is a lot of information to digest, and yeah, I'm gonna need a minute.
Alright, and at that moment, I think we'll end this week early. The next week, we can also do Todd's epic moment. And until then, I want to apologise for the connection issues, blah blah blah, and we'll get on with the story proper, and everyone can obviously do their epic level up. get level 21 in their class.
Oh my
respective
god,
class.
it's time!
I love that everyone got something like mental, and then there's just a Neros just like, for fuck's sake, another book?
Well, I did have a plan, but you didn't really I didn't get to execute.
We can do it if you want.
No,
like-
it's okay.
You sure? We can do it now, quickly.
No, it doesn't make sense in the story, so I'll tell you about it when we're off screen.
Okay, alright, we'll end it there.